Raise your hand if you were ever a parent that said you were never going to do screen time for your kids. Today's video is going to be a part of our Surviving Summer series, and it is all about giving your child screen time that counts. Giving them something that they can learn from, something that will keep them engaged, and something they'll be excited to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you know when new videos are up. In the description box below, you're going to find a link to an interactive Google slide deck that I created just for you. Let's get started. All right, everyone, welcome to the Graphic Design for Kids slide deck that I created. This is the table of contents slide, and it is interactive. So if your child clicks on one of the images or on the words, they will be able to go to the slide that they would like to see. I'm going to go through these in order and show you exactly what your child can do and what they will be learning from each slide. The first one is flower garden. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the image because I'm pretty sure that's what most kids will do. Once you click there, they can just click on the next slide link and it will take you to the flower garden slide. Like I said, everything's interactive. So what your child's going to do is they're going to create a flower garden. This is a lot of drag and drop practice for them if they have not had a lot of experience. If you're doing this on a tablet, it will probably be a lot easier because they can use their fingers, but otherwise using a mouse or their finger on the trackpad is going to be a bit of a challenge for them. As you can see, I have a bunch of ovals that are different configurations. They're in different orientations all around, so they can make different types of flowers. So you'll just have them click and drag. And if you want to go a little further with this, you can click on the little paint bucket. They can change the color of their flower. So you can change the orientation. Like I said, this is a really fun one for them to do because they really have to think logically about how they want their flower to look in the end. And they have to move things around until they get the end result that they want. So there is my first flower. And if they're not really satisfied with the way that it looks, they could get even more advanced. So for example, if I don't like the way this stem is sticking out, I can teach my child to order this. So I'm just going to right click on it, put order, and then send to back so that it just kind of pushes it behind everything else. If they want something in the center, they can also add shapes. So if you click on the shapes and show them how to do this, this is, again, if you want to sit there and do this with them to make it a little bit more fun. But if you would rather they try these things on their own, obviously they can do that too. So I am just inserting shapes and changing colors to show you what you can do with this. My kindergartners were able to do this, and no, not all of their flowers looked like this, but they had the best time, and every flower was unique and beautiful. By the end of our unit, we had an entire flower garden of these amazing rainbow flowers that I wish we could see in person. All right, I got that all cleaned up for us. So now if I would like to get back to the table of contents slide, of course I could just click there, but if I'm down a few slides, it's easier if I just click on the walk away from the workbook icon, and I'm gonna move down and click that link. So now I'm back to the table of contents, and I will show you the two butterflies that I have created. Again, I'm gonna click on that image and click on the slide. So here is our first butterfly. I chose a red one and a blue one, but they are mostly the same. You'll notice that I have a lot of two-dimensional shapes on this side here. So I did this with my kindergartners when we were learning about flat shapes and solid shapes, and my students loved it. We also brought in symmetry, so making sure that each wing was exactly the same on both sides. I'm gonna really quickly show you how you can just click, drag and drop. You could talk to your child about what shapes these are, how do they know that's the name of that shape, those kinds of things. So once I move the square here, I can also change the color if I like yellow, and then I'm going to move this square over and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side because we want it to be symmetrical, or as symmetrical as it can get. I'm not going to continue because it's pretty self-explanatory, so I'll put it back together for you and we will move on. Like I said, they could also do the second butterfly, which is blue. So the next item is a postcard. This one is really fun. I'm going to click there. This might be for slightly older kids. You will see a little beach scene, and there's a bucket with a shovel, an umbrella, sandcastle, some starfish, and a couple of kids. So what your child can do is they can create their own little postcard. And you may need to explain to them what a postcard is because, of course, we are in a digital age and our kids may not actually know what postcards are for. Once they decorate the postcard, something I would suggest having them do if you really want them to be learning this summer is to insert a text box. So you're going to click on the little T right here. They can click anywhere. You can format the writing for them if you'd like. I like to use Century Gothic. I don't know why, it just seems like a clean font. And you can have them write a letter to someone. They can change the size of this, whatever you want to do, but they can write a little message to someone and learn how to center things or put things off to the side, however they want it to look as the graphic designer. All right, so this is my finished product. I wrote, "Aloha, we are having a great time in Hawaii." I wish. We built a sandcastle and found starfish. Love, Nicole. So your child can play around with this. They can decide which font they like the best, whatever they want to do. All you have to do is kind of show them how to highlight things. You'd be surprised at how quickly they pick up on this kind of thing. So that is our very cute little postcard, and I would love to see your creations. If your kids want to write me a little note, I would love that as well. Make sure you take pictures or send me screenshots of their little creations. All right, we're gonna head back up to that first slide. We are now at count and build. So for this one, your child is gonna need a partner. What you see over here are some virtual dice, and then you see some kind of just plain squares, and then player 1 and player 2. This is something that I have done in my classroom with actual blocks, but since we are at home and I'm just trying to show you some cool graphic design stuff, I thought I would do this digitally. So the first thing you're going to do is decide who's going to go first, you or your child. Then you're going to click on those virtual dice. You have to kind of wait until you see the hand. There it is. And then it will roll. And when you want it to stop, you just click it. So that's 6. So I am going to be player 1 and I'm going to put 6 blocks up. So these are my stacked up blocks. This was kind of anticlimactic because the point of the game is to see which player reaches the top first, and I have already done that. What I wanted to show you though is that your child can also change the color of each one of these. So they can do a rainbow, they could do a pattern, whatever you want them to be practicing. You could encourage them to do that or just let them do what they want to do. You'd be surprised at how much fun they're going to have just changing the colors around, especially if you show them the cool tool that shows you how to make custom colors. I'm going to show you that in just a quick second. So I'll get to that last one. We'll go to the bucket, and when we want to do more, we go to the plus, and you can show them, well, if you want it to be like a pink color, you can move anywhere on here and find the color you like the best, and then hit OK. And there's your custom pink. So again, you would just click on that dice and it would roll for you. Click it again to make it stop. And then player 2 would do 4. So like I said, first one to get to the top is the winner, and then you can put the blocks back and start again. All right, this next one is the dinosaur scene. So I'm gonna click on that picture, and here we have kind of a jungle background and then all of these different dinosaurs. So your child can drag and drop the dinosaurs anywhere. You might also wanna talk to them about resizing dinosaurs. So they can make some big and they can make some small. And you can talk about huge, gigantic, different types of vocabulary words there. You could ask them the different types of food. You could talk about herbivores, carnivores, all kinds of fun conversations will come out of this one. You could also talk about perspective. So thinking, let's see, maybe the Stegosaurus is gonna be way back here and it's gonna look smaller because it's so far away. And it's not really small, but it has to be small because when things are far away, they do appear to be smaller. So as you can see, there's a lot of learning that can happen just in this really simplistic dinosaur scene. All right, let's get this put back together and I'll head back up to the top. Okay, we're gonna move on to the robot lab. I have been clicking on the pictures, but I do want to point something out for when you click on the words. If you click and the cursor is blinking, you can't click on the link. So encourage your child to click on the blue lines and then the slide will appear. So click on that, and here it is just a little robot laboratory with different types of shapes. This is different than the butterfly because I added like a rainbow shape and a plus sign and a heart and kind of a skinny diamond shape. So you can have your child build a robot and change the colors of the robot. They can resize the circles or any other shape to make eyes, nose, and a mouth. This is a little bit more advanced than our butterfly, but definitely a good time. So I am going to build a quick robot and show you what I got. All right, so as I'm working here, I'm realizing I'm doing things automatically, and I should probably explain. So I took this rainbow shape, and you can teach this to your child. This is probably better for older kids, maybe 7 and up, but you can teach them how to rotate. So they would just grab that circle there at the top, and they can rotate that shape however they want. So if they want it to look like it's waving, they can kind of do like that. They can reorder objects, so they can hit arrange, back to order, send to back. And so it kind of looks like my robot is almost dancing a little bit. Something else that's really cool is that you can highlight all of it at once, and you can make your robot all one color. So let's go with maybe that shade of blue. And if you want it to look like there's no lines at all, you can make the border line the exact same color, so that it looks like it's just all one robot shape. And then when you move things, kind of looks a little bit different. So that's really cool. It's a nice little feature for your older kids to learn, and they can play around with it a little bit. They can resize objects however they want. This one kind of looks like a lion, doesn't it? So again, I would love to see your kids' creations if they create a robot in the robot lab. All right, so once again, I'm gonna click on the words and just remind you that when you click on the blue lines, it works much better. All right, here we are at the bakery. This one is really fun. I've got a heart cookie, a circle cookie, and a star cookie. So I'm sure you can probably guess. Your child's just gonna move the shapes on top. They can change the color of the frosting. So maybe they want this one to be pink. And I have kind of these little sprinkles they can move on top as well. They can grab more sprinkles if they want a very sprinkly cookie. There we go. So this one is just fun, and if you want to teach them how to insert images, they can do that too, or you can insert more shapes if they want to do specific shape sprinkles. So let's say maybe I wanted to do a sun sprinkle, so I just take that and shrink it and then move it onto the cookie. And you can also teach them things like how to copy and paste. So just, I'm on my Mac, so Command C and Command V. And I just did that a bunch of times. If you're not sure how to do that completely, you can also do edit, copy, edit, paste. And you'll see all of the ways that you can do that. So then you can arrange the sprinkles however you want on your cookie. And whoops, okay, if something like that happens, which it will, have your child learn how to use the undo button so that they don't get overly frustrated. Okay, here we are at the Among Us puzzle. I don't know if your child is anything like mine, but he is obsessed with this game. I know it's not 100% appropriate probably, but I also know that the characters are very easy to draw. So this is something that my son really likes to draw on his own, and so do my nieces. So what I did here is I made a background of an Among Us character, and what your child has to do is they have to try to match up the puzzle pieces. So they would drag and drop the piece. These are the legs. One is the backpack. One is the little eye mask. So I'm going to put those in there. So, oh, you know what I'm going to do though is I'm going to make all of this one color first. So let's make it, Jack likes him to be red. Again, I can change the border color so that it looks like everything's connected, like that. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and click on the mask and put it right over the top there. And Jack likes the mask to be this turquoise color. So there's our little Among Us puzzle. So that's a really fun one to do. I hope your kids enjoy it. It's not super difficult. And we have one more slide to go, so let's get to it. We've got our farm scene. So this is very similar to the dinosaur scene where your child can play around with perspective, size, they can rotate. I can also show you how to make the animals turned a different way. So I know this is pretty self-explanatory for those of you that have done things like this before, but if you would like that cow to be looking the other way, you just right click on the cow and then go to rotate and then flip horizontally. If your child wants to do something silly and they want that cow to be upside down for some reason, You can right click and you can rotate it vertically. And now the cow is upside down. So you can do all kinds of fun things with this. And if they make a mistake, again, just remind them with that undo button. So they can create a really cute farm scene. They can resize their animals however they wish. You can talk to them about maybe labeling the picture if they would like to. So adding a text box, and they can just write cow. You can make this really fancy. My students all know how to do this kind of stuff now because we spent a long time on it. Resize the box, center things. So there's our little label for our cow. And you could do the same thing with horse and hen and pig and sheep. You could also have them write a sentence about any of these pictures. So really the possibilities are endless. And if you are willing to sit with your child, which I know a lot of us aren't right now because it is summertime, you could get a lot farther with these slides. So please make sure you share all of your creations with me. All right, so that is that on my video for graphic design in our Surviving Summer series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're excited, and I hope that you click on that link below so that your kids can do the interactive slides I created. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with other friends who might find it useful. I would love to know if you tried these activities with your child. I would love to see screenshots of their creations, so please don't hesitate to reach out and share those with me. We've got lots more coming up in our Surviving Summer series, so until next Wednesday, have fun learning with your little ones. Bye.